Bob Zubricki, you need a haircut and a shave.
Oh, Tony, we are live. We are recording.
I know. I see him.
Thank
I
you,
wonder-
thank you,
He was-
Supervisor Hay.
He was here during the election. I didn't know who he was.
You know, I'm trying to be frugal. I'm taking lessons from you.
Yeah, but look at my hair. But mine's gray and yours is black. I'll switch.
Well, you know,
John O'Connor, we won't discuss your hair tonight.
All right, Tony, we're good.
Okay, all rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
flag of the
of the
United States
of
of America,
and
to the republic for
which
which
it
it stands,
one nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Alvarez, absent. Councilman Larka,
Here.
Councilman Lord,
Here.
Councilman O'Connor,
Here.
Supervisor Head.
Here. Okay, first item on the work session this evening is discussion with Judy Morano from CAC, sorry. And she's got quite a few fans out there as well. So Judy, the floor is yours.
And Judy, I did receive your presentation, so would you like me to share that first?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, good evening, Supervisor Hay, board members. I'm Judy Morano, President of the Cultural Arts Coalition and Director of the Studio Around the Corner. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to reintroduce the Cultural Arts Coalition and give you an update on our progress. Good, next. All right, so the Cultural Arts Coalition is a not-for-profit corporation dedicated to developing and sustaining a cultural arts center and theater in Old Town Hall. Our motto is celebrating the community with transformative and inspiring arts experiences. We opened the studio around the corner in 2011 in the basement of Old Town Hall to demonstrate the need for a place and to begin promoting the theater restoration. We formally began leasing the studio to the theater from the town in 2016 with a $10 a year lease plus our share of utilities, which during the period of 2017 to 2020 averaged about $485 a month. From our perch at the studio, we run several major programs and events, which we will discuss in more detail in later slides. They are the Arts Around the Corner, Concerts Around the Corner, Theater Around the Corner, Garden Around the Corner. You're getting the theme here. Plus the Brewster Music Festival and the Fall Festival, in addition to spearheading the restoration of Old Town Hall. Next, please. As you can see, we have a very small board of extremely dedicated volunteers, and them, with the help of many community members, have made this endeavor successful. Next. We're going to talk a little bit about our programming. To date, we have received about $40,000 in grants from the Putnam Arts Council and private donors. These funds help with both continued programming at the studio and restoration of the theater. Prior to COVID's interruption, over 18,000 patrons visited the studio for different events. Next. The studio around the corner is first and foremost an art gallery. We hold monthly art shows organized by our talented curator, Andrea Levy. These events are highlighted by an opening gala where visitors get to meet the artists. Our artists come from Putnam, Westchester, Connecticut, and beyond. We've also partnered with local organizations and done shows with the Dwyer Vet to Vet program, Green Chimneys, Park, and the Mental Health Association. Next.
Hi, I'm Robert Zubricki. I'm a professional violinist and I'm director of the Concerts Around the Corner series. And we try and present something for everyone with the Concerts Around the Corner, classical, Broadway, jazz, world music, folk music, all presented with a talk about the history and the lives of the composers. Our audiences come from near and far for these unique programs. They're all professional musicians and hailing from Broadway stages and orchestras, symphony orchestras that include the American Symphony, the New York Philharmonic, the Stamford, Connecticut Symphony, and American Ballet Theater. And we are bringing performers from Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center to Brewster. Our concerts are very popular. In fact, our annual concert for Peace this past January 1st had a virtual audience of 600 viewers. And we also present the Young Musicians of Putnam, which is a concert featuring the finest young high school and college musicians from Putnam County. Next. This slide highlights our Theater Around the Corner program, which is curated and directed by the actor and educator Christine DeToda. This program includes cabaret performances, staged readings, fully staged productions of plays and musicals, and these are done with a mix of amateur and professional performers. And all of these productions play to sold out houses 3 nights in a row right here at the studio around the corner. Next.
Is Anita on?
There is a need, let me ask.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm Anita Conway. I'm a master gardener in Putnam County, and I'm also the volunteer coordinator for the Cultural Arts Coalition. The Garden Around the Corner is a partnership between Cornell Cooperative Extension, the Cultural Arts Coalition, and the Putnam Community Action Partnership. Its purpose is to bring gardening programs and a community garden to the village of Brewster, growing organic, nutritious produce for the CAP Food Pantry, which serves 200 families locally that live under the poverty level. In 2020, myself and 7 Garden Around the Corner volunteers donated over 250 pounds of produce to those needy families through the CAP Food Pantry. The garden is also an educational space. Since 2017, the Master Gardeners have offered seed to supper programs there, seed to salad programs there, and they use the garden as a demonstration garden. This program educates adults and children how to grow vegetables on a budget in an effort to build a more food secure community. So not only does the Garden Around the Corner improve the look of the parking lot between the library and Old Town Hall, it brings the local community together to grow and donate nutritious food locally. Next slide, please.
The studio around the corner, which is the original sort of spot for us, is home to many community programs which appeal to all ages and all demographics. We hold classes on health and wellness. We are the rehearsal space for Spotlight Arts, a youth theater group. We have painting parties, we have author readings, and we are currently the home of a local OA group. Next.
Hey, look, there's our own Edwin Alvarez.
Yes. Yes. Just to aside, Edwin helped at our ESL program. The Brewster Music Festival was a new event for us, and it is a free community event at Wells Park in the Village. It is a day of music, food, and fun for families, and we flank the field with craft vendors to enhance the entire experience. Over 1,500 people attended the last festival, with people coming as far away as South Jersey to spend the day in Brewster. Next. And finally, the Brewster Fall Festival. Previously, Founders Day was taken over by the Cultural Arts Coalition in 2018 and turned into a fundraiser for Old Town Hall. We have grown the event to now have over 100 vendors, 2 stages, one for community members and one for professional musicians, games, a petting zoo, and so much more. In 2019, we had over 5,000 attendees and we raised over $10,000. Next.
Hi, I guess I'm up. This is Olena Truscott. I am vice president and also serve as the restoration chairperson. The Cultural Arts Coalition was formed in 2010 in part to develop a performing arts theater on this side of Putnam County that would be affordable to local arts groups and patrons. Other than the school auditoriums, which are costly and have limited availability, there are no theater stages in the area. It wasn't a requirement that the venue be Old Town Hall, but the building was certainly our prime candidate because of its location and the fact that it houses an existing theater on its upper floor with a stunning visual and acoustic setting. Old Town Hall, erected in 1896, is on the National Register of Historic Places and owned by the town of Southeast. It lies between the Brewster Library and the old Cameo Theater, and many refer to it as the Southeast Museum, a misnomer since the museum occupies only a part of the building. It has 3 levels with a footprint of just under 4,000 square feet. At one time, the theater could accommodate 500 people, but we are planning for a capacity of 199 to 300 with non-fixed seating. Unfortunately, the theater level was closed many years ago because of fire and safety hazards, and like many 100-plus-year-old structures, the building is challenged with aging infrastructure. The oil heating no longer functions, and the electrical wiring and plumbing need to be revamped. It also needs structural improvements to make it work as a theater in today's environment. An extra egress as well as an accessible entrance are required. Needless to say, Old Town Hall has great bones and it's a gem worth saving. Its restoration would serve as a catalyst for the Brewster revitalization effort. So CAC's restoration goals are, number 1, to preserve the building with methods that align with historical preservation principles. 2, to satisfy the code requirements for structure, health, and safety. And 3, to ensure the theater will have the functionality to be self-sustaining. On the slide, you can see photos of the various iterations. The top 2 are about the same period, 1910 to 1920, and the bottom left is around 1905. Bottom right is the current version, and it looks like springtime. Next slide. The coalition, as tenant at Old Town Hall, has raised over $500,000 to support the restoration while working in cooperation with the town. The bulk of the monies have come from New York State through grants given to the town, but largely from coalition efforts. In 2012, Senator Greg Ball came through with a $250,000 Economic Development Assistance Program grant. In 2019, Senator Peter Harcum obtained the $200,000 State Aid to Municipalities grant. Grants awarded to the coalition for the restoration activities amount to $11.2 thousand at this point. The rest of the pie has come from our ardent fundraising efforts and very much appreciated donations from the community, and in particular, Ruth Baker. A figure missing, because it's not easy to tabulate, is the monetary value of the thousands of volunteer hours spent in promoting, planning, and executing the restoration project. The construction estimate for the entire restoration is forecast to have a base cost of $3 million, which ramps to 4.3, including overhead, profit, and contingencies. Approximately $490,000 has been spent on the project to date. And you might ask, what are the funds been used for? Next slide, please. Eric, can you go to the next slide?
I did. Can you guys not see it? I can see it.
Yeah.
I had the pie.
Eric ate it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I'm switching it. Let me, hold on. How about now?
No.
We see you sharing your screen, but we don't see a picture.
I apologize. Let me try one more time. How about now?
No. About how far are we through the presentation? Is there a lot more after this one? might be able to continue talking and we can catch up with the slides if Eric gets it on.
Can you see my screen now?
No.
Yeah,
No,
No, it just has a black screen.
Like froze on the pie screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I really apologize for that. And it's coming through on my end. I'm not sure what's happening.
Can you log out and log back in?
I cannot because I'm recording this.
You're
and that may
recording
mess-
it? Okay. Oh,
there you go. Wait, there you go. You just did it.
Oh, it did? Oh,
Yeah, go back, do it again. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
okay. The restoration milestones include the set of architectural plans by R.A. Siegel Architect and the accompanying professional cost estimates. The plans assimilate at least 5 sets of other firms' drawings and are the result of walking fine lines to satisfy the many stakeholders who have an economic, historical, or cultural interest in a restored and fully functioning building. We were also able to do the first bit of physical improvement, restoring the 49 windows. Ben Brandt and his team at Newburgh Sash and Restoration have certainly done a beautiful job, as can be seen if you drive past the building. The photos are images from the window work in 2018. Monies were also spent on building condition assessments. They include in 2014 an energy assessment, in 2017 an MEP assessment by Kohler Ronan Consulting Engineers. In 2016 to 18, DeSalvo Engineering Group performed several small structural studies to inform the design plans. And then in 2020, Lacey Thaler, Riley Wilson, a firm specializing in preservation, assessed the building envelope, identifying several problem areas, including the roof and its drainage. The assessment findings are documented in reports available to interested parties. So the next slide, please. The tasks in progress include the building systems design work to update the HVAC, electrical, and plumbing infrastructure. In 2019, having the architectural plans in hand and monies in our coffers, the coalition went ahead and signed a contract for $65,000 with OLA Consulting Engineers. OLA got halfway through the job, producing a major design deliverable in July last summer, before the pandemic forced us to put their endeavor on hold. Our expenses have exceeded our anticipated income, and we currently do not have the funds to pay OLA for the remaining work, nor to pay the architect for his review of the July deliverable. But certainly the stakeholders, including the coalition, the town, and the museum, plus any willing volunteers, should review and comment before the design work resumes. And I'm happy to share those documents with those who ask. Also in progress and being paid for by the SAM grant monies is work on the theater front, entry doors, and the fabrication and installation of interior storm windows. This work is part of the town's 2020 window contract with Newburgh Sash and Restoration. Last, the coalition was just awarded a new grant of $4,000 towards a $5,000 project to assess the roof structure in more depth. This mini project will start later this spring by the same firm that performed the building envelope assessment. And as an aside, I'm hoping the town can assist me in requesting the gratis use of a bucket truck from the Brewster Fire Department so that we can stretch the grant funds a little further. Overall, the restoration has a long way to go. Based on the present base cost estimate, the project is under 17% complete. That being said, once we finish the building system design work, get recommendations on the envelope repair, and obtain an easement on the west side of the building, the project should be shovel ready. There's an appendix to this presentation which summarizes the tasks ahead for a fully restored building. There's also a one-page summary at the end with all I've just discussed here. And before I turn the presentation back over to Judy, I wanted to say that it's been a privilege to work with my fellow board members and many of you at the town on a project that blends my former life as an engineer and my desire to engage in the arts. I do wish, however, that the progress would happen a little bit more quickly. Thanks.
Next slide, please. Unfortunately, this has not come as a shock to anybody. COVID has really shut our venue down, severely restricting our activities and our ability to fundraise through performances and events. And we are not alone in this really difficult situation, and we are aware of that. Next slide, please. So we have a wish list. You knew that was coming, right? There's things that we think would make this process go a little smoother. Number one, we would love to have a designated liaison from the board, the town board, to work with, so the lines of communication can remain open during any of the work that's being done. Also, previously you had sent us a grant writer. We would love help with assist with future grant writing work. It is a huge bear, and I'm so grateful to Elena for taking it on, but obviously we could use the help. We need to secure the easement on the west side of the building. We need to revisit, hopefully, utility cost share. Right now, without making money, that's something that needs to be talked about. And finally, we would like to be able to provide you, the board, with a monthly update so you can see where we're going and what we're doing each month. Next slide. The images on the screen right now are renderings of our architectural plans, and they certainly are beautiful. I want to thank all of you for giving us the opportunity to reintroduce CAC to the town board and the community. Please know that we are committed to this endeavor of restoring the building and running a cultural arts center to make Brewster and the town of Southeast a better place to live. Making art or enjoying it is critical to the quality of life in our community. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone out there that wants to make any comment? Well, thank you for the presentation. We'll go over that list, Judy, and we'll see what we can, how we move forward in the future.
Perfect.
Presentation was awesome. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate everything you've done for the town.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, everyone. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Okay, we're going to move on to the second item, which is the discussion for the webpage notification links. John O'Connor.
As you know, I've been talking with Joe Vera, our
John, before you, John, we can't hear you very well. Is it your mic or?
I've been lip syncing the whole time. So
Yeah, it's close.
yeah. So is that better?
A little better.
Okay. So as you know, or as you may have known through the emails, I've been speaking with Joe Vera, our IT consultant, regarding social media pages for the town website. We looked at Twitter and Facebook. And again, this was because a number of our constituents out there did have some comments and suggestions that we be a little more 21st century with notifications of things. And so in talking to both Tony Hay and Joe, tried to move forward with getting 2 social media apps started for in addition to our town internet page. So we got Facebook and Twitter set up. We're still working on a social media policy as who can post, what needs to be posted, what can be posted, etc. So we're still hashing through that. But the pages are up. So far, I've had the Facebook page follow the county health department because that's right now in everybody's mind. So the theory is when the town publishes something on its main internet page, we are going to also push that out to the 2 social media pages because a lot of people are living, by their smartphone at this point. And especially in a grid down situation like we've had with the power outages in some of the major storms we experience in the area, it's just a lot easier for someone who still has connectivity with their iPhone or whatever mobile platform they're using. They can get those push notifications as to when power is going to be restored, if that's available, where dry ice and water is available, things of that nature, and any other updates for the community that we see posted either through the county or state websites. So we're kind of going to follow certain government pages and then basically restrict commenting on the town page. You can like it or you can choose not to hit like, but there'll be no commenting really of anything. It'll just be informational only, and that's what we're looking to do. So any questions on that so far?
No, John, I'll just, I'm glad to hear you say that there, in this, it said something about, comment posted by the member of the public. So I thought maybe there was a consideration to leave comments in, but I don't think we should have comments. I'm glad that's the direction.
Yeah, I think, and just to answer that question, Tony and I talked about it a little before the meeting, and Joe gave us basically like a boilerplate policy because I asked him for it, and that's what he came up with. And it needs, more specific vamping for our purposes. But I think, again, we're just going to be following pretty standard pages. We're going to, I mean, we could post events that are happening in the area, but it's really more for people on the go that need important information, especially during emergencies. And we're not going to be really having people, we're going to lock out the comments section for that. It just, again, if you want to give it a thumbs up, just because you like the information or whatever, that's fine. But other than that, other, people's personal pages is for posting what they want to know socially. So we're just putting out informational things.
I guess I have one more question. Is the linkage to Facebook and Twitter, is that automated? So like when a post hits the website, is it automated? Or do you have to?
Yeah, that's what I'm striving for, because I'd rather have the one-stop shopping with that.
Yep.
Again, hopefully the way we'll set it up, like, so if the Department of Health posts something, it'll do that push notification through our following it on the town page, and they'll just see that in the feed. So I want to make it as maintenance free as possible.
Okay, cool.
It's a great idea. Thanks a lot, John.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
Okay, so that'll be on the agenda again for next month, but in the meantime, John will move forward to getting it on the webpage. And thank you. Okay, next item is discussion on town park passes. As you know, hopefully, maybe late spring, definitely by summer, the park at the Tenino Lake is going to be revamped, new. The old Castle Park has been removed. Excuse me. And a new park will be going up. And so we have to start making modification. As you know, the bikeway is now pretty much active. It's open. We have an area in our park for people to park for the bikeway. It's been really active. We had more cars there probably when the park was closed, the bikeway was closed, and we had tremendous amount of cars, which pretty much got us to the point where we're making parking areas for residents and for those that are using the bikeway. Now, Eric, I give you a couple of sheets there.
Yep. Let me just see if this will work a little better than last time.
Okay, that looks like a figure 8. Okay, you see Pump House Road at the bottom, and then there's like a whitish, grayish area with a line. We were going to put maybe 2 cars parked there, but we decided, yep, down a little lower, Eric, right there, yep. We're not going to put those 2 vehicles there. That's going to remain no parking. But once you cross the railroad tracks on either side of the road, you could probably get 4 to 5 cars on either side of the road. And that's for their convenience, our convenience, because I can tell by the amount of vehicles that are going there already, we need that parking. And there'll be signs posted along Pump House Road leading to the area. And once you cross the railroad tracks, it'll say, well, we'll get into that in a moment, but we'll lead people to where the actual parking's allowed for the bike trail. So that's the first one. Let's go to the second one. Now, what we're going to do, and I got the idea from going to, parking garages with everyone, you're on level A, B, C, D. So the first area, lot number 1, is going to be permit parking. Lot number 1, 2, and 3 will be parking for residents only. Now, lot number 1 is access to the beach. Lot number 2, you can see pretty much a tennis court, which is just below the arrow marking number 2. And where the arrow is actually pointing, we're hoping this year to put a basketball court in that area as well. So we will lose some parking there, but there's been a desire by the residents to have a basketball court, and we're gonna try to accommodate them. We plan to make the tennis court a little bit bigger because I think it's 3 feet short of being an actual, I would say Olympic sized tennis court, but
Regulation.
regulation, it's about 3 feet short, so we want to extend that. And then the rest will be parking. And on lot number 3, which does not exist yet, there's a couple of buildings there. It's pretty much a level area. We're gonna flatten out, put some gravel down and allow additional parking. Now, lot number 4 will be solely for not residents, anyone to park for the bikeway. So they'll have when you first cross over the bridge or the railroad tracks, there'll be parking in lot number 4. Not only that, in lot number 4, they probably have 8 to 12 spots, depending if people park properly. It's got stone. It's very difficult. If we want to line it, we can try to line it. But the road leading down to it, Eric, if you can, where it says lot 3, just go from lot 3 and go down. Nope, the other way. Yep, go down that way. So along that road there, I asked the highway superintendent if he can widen out a bit to allow people to parallel park there. We might be able to get 4 to 5 additional cars. Now, with that, you want to go to the next slide? When they first pull in to Pump House Road, right at the gate, there'll be a sign that says lots number 1, 2, 3, permit parking only. Town of Southeast residents only. Lot number 4, parking permit, no permit required. That is the first one to identify. There's going to be 4 areas to park. Want to go to the next one? Okay, so lot number 1, and that's as soon as you go in the gate, you'll be told to go to the right. It's permit parking, Town of Southeast residents only. Now, a lot of people like that because they can ride right down to the bottom, right by the beach. There's a gate there. They can get on the bikeway, but that's not what's happening. Only for Town of Southeast residents. So they can use the park for its own use, but anyone coming for the bike path only that is not a Town of Southeast resident will be asked to go to the other lots. Go to the next one. Lot number 2, that's the one up by the, where the basketball court and where the tennis courts are currently posted. And again, that will be for Town of Southeast residents only. And I'll tell you how we're gonna know if they're residents or not. Lot number 3 is pretty much directly across from the tennis courts. There's an area there which will be flattened out. Permit parking again, and for Town of Southeast residents only to use the facilities there. Now, again, once this new park goes in, I think you're going to see quite a few people going there. It's really nice. It's all brand new equipment. They have tennis, basketball. There's a baseball diamond there, actually 2 baseball diamonds. We got the bikeway, we got the beach. There's a lot of activity up there. So we're trying to get as much parking as we can. And lot number 4, will there'll be 4 signs leading to the bike trailway. And there's ones that the MTA provided the town, which I don't show here, but it'll say trailway parking, and then we'll say 500 feet, 250 feet, whatever. We're gonna measure the distance to it so they know that's where they're to park. And next one. Now, right after the railroad tracks, we're gonna have to say parking between signs. So that's 1, go to the next one. So you can park between the arrows. And again, they can do probably 4 to 5 on either side of the road. And the last one. Now, something we had not done in the past, residents that go there have to identify themselves when they get to the beach. But now that we're gonna have some competition for the parking with the bikeway, we have some leftover stickers from Southeast Station, and they're 2020. So that 2020 will be replaced with a tag that says 2021. And again, we're experimenting this year. It won't cost us any money because these were left over. And then they'll be given a license number. And then our code enforcement officer, John, if you still want a part-time job, John O'Connor, he used to do a great job for the town as code enforcement officer and parking. So they'll be given the tag. Now, one thing we're gonna do with the tag, we do charge a beach pass. So what we're gonna do this year, the beach pass will include this tag, and any resident that wants to use those to park, it's good in all parks, but mostly it's gonna be for this particular park because up at, Sculpino Park, a lot of residents go there. We're gonna have more of an issue with people out of town that are not Town of Southeast residents using our facilities. And every town has their own facilities and usually it's for residents only. So the 2020 will be replaced with a 2021. We're gonna charge $10 for the tag. And again, we charge each year for the pass for the beach. So instead of charging for the beach per se, this is gonna be to you get a tag for the lot in its entirety. And it's gonna be $10 for this and for each additional one, like if you have a 2-car family and you need an extra tag, it'll be an additional $5. It's mostly for the bookwork. It'll make it easier on the parking enforcement officer to tell if the vehicle belongs or doesn't belong. And other than that, that's pretty much what we're proposing to do. Would you like to make comment?
Yeah, I've got some comments. So if we could go back to that original slide with the parking by the tracks.
Yep.
So, once you cross the tracks, you're having parking on either side.
Yes, parallel parking only.
Did we measure that out? Because I just took a look on Google Maps and that's about 14 feet wide over there. And if there's 2 cars on it, you're not going to get an ambulance or a fire truck through there.
Oh, no, John, we widen that. I'll go and get you an actual measurement.
Yeah, because I don't need the measurement. I just want to make sure we can, if God forbid there's a brush fire down there or somebody needs an ambulance at the beach or something, sometimes people don't park the way they actually should park. And, God forbid we have any delay in getting emergency services through there.
Okay, the actual width of the road has not changed whatsoever. We widen the road for the width of a car. So they can be off the road. Even when they open their door, they would be off the road. So the width of the road has not changed in any way. So if a fire truck made it through before, they should be able to make it through now, but we'll double check it.
Okay.
Anyone else? So is it okay if we move along on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be, and again, there's a lot of great things happening in the park. Right along the park itself, there's a trail that goes into the woods by might be a mile. We have volunteers willing to clean that trail. The highway department's done a really good job helping to clean it up. Mr. Lepler is responsible for helping to put in the new equipment that's going there. He was very, very, very beneficial in getting this done as well. Some trees were cut down. We got some complaints about the trees cutting down, saying we're doing a logging operation. But I'm telling you right now, some of the trees up there, as a matter of fact, one tree actually crashed into the baseball field. And it's a good thing kids weren't playing there because it was in the outfield and it was a fairly substantial tree. Most of those trees in that area are dying and dead. We might have cut down 1 or 2 healthy ones, but most of the ones there were pretty well gone. Okay, I'll make a motion now to go into the regular portion of the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, waive the reading of the correspondence. Approval of the voucher list, $3,207,996.52. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Okay, it's really high. Why? The fire department, both fire departments, Croton Falls and Brewster got theirs. The museum got theirs. So
Library.
which one?
Library.
I don't know if they got, we paid a lot of bills for them, but I don't believe they actually get funds from the town, but it's substantial. So all the big bills go out the first of the year, and that's why it's as high as it is. And I can guarantee the next one will not be that high. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, waive the reading of the budget transfers. Number 4, setting of the meeting dates. All meetings will be held at 1360 Route 22, Brewster, New York at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Next one will be Thursday, March 4th, 2021, and Thursday, March 18th, 2021. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, resolution authorizing to enter into memorandum of understanding with Putnam County, intersection of Farrington Road and Route 6. Okay, going out toward, where Restaurant Depot is going, and you see a lot of work going on there. I feel bad for them because they got 2 to 3 feet of snow out there, but they're working their way through it. Farrington Road is on the left-hand side. And this was approved by the planning board, and the New York State requested that a traffic light be installed. So Farrington Road comes out like on a 45-degree angle. And in order to meet conformity with New York State regulations, they have to come in more than 90-degree angle. Now, a grant was obtained by Putnam County for the project, along with another one up in Patterson. And the flow through money goes through the county. And we're actually, they're not the responsible one, but it's our road. So we kind of take the lead on it. And that's what this MOU is about. And Michelle, they've asked that as soon as we've done this meeting tonight, you come down to work and get it out.
Okay, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow. So, any further discussion? Was there a second on it yet?
No, no
Okay, is
second.
there a second
Second.
discussion?
Yeah, the amount of the grant, is that going to pay the complete cost for the construction of the intersection?
I don't know 100%, but if not, the contractor themselves will be responsible for it, not the town,
Restaurant Depot will, or,
the contractor. I would say the developer.
okay,
Restaurant Depot has no involvement in this at all.
okay,
This is a state SAM grant that is being given to the county. The county has to administer it. They can only administer it on our property if they have control of the site. The MOU gives them control of the site. It's been made very clear in the agreement that the town of Southeast is not responsible for any of the costs or expenses in doing that project. But I do not believe that the developer is involved at all, and I don't think can be. But ultimately, if there was a cost overrun, the developer would probably step in. But that's not part of this understanding.
thank you.
Okay, number 6, resolution.
I need a vote, Tony.
Oh, didn't vote yet?
vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Number 6, resolution, Drew Realty Site 1 Performance Bond Establishment. Now therefore be resolved that the bond amount shall be established for the project set forth below. Project name, Drew Realty Site 1. Bond amount, site improvements, $1,796,000. Erosion and sediment, $71,840. And be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution shall be transmitted by the town clerk to the planning board secretary and building inspector forthwith. So move for discussion. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, resolution, Brewster Honda Service Center release a performance bond, establish a maintenance bond. Now therefore be resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to cancel and return the original performance security for Brewster Honda Service Center, 2-4 Allview Avenue, in the remaining secured amount of $32,500, and to return any and all original bonds, deposit, letters of credit, or other indicia of security posted in connection with the project upon the express condition the applicant/owner first file the following with the town clerk. A landscape maintenance bond in the surety amount of $2,000 for a period of 2 years. And B, a stormwater facility maintenance bond in the surety amount of $20,200 for a period of 4 years. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 8, it's a resolution, Gasland Southeast Performance Bond Establishment. Now therefore be resolved that the bond amount shall be established for the project set forth below. Project name, Gasland Southeast. Bond amount, site improvements, $41,000. Erosion and sediment, $1,640. And be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution shall be transmitted by the town clerk to the planning board secretary and building inspector forthwith. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 9, a resolution to declare lead agency in full environment assessment form. Now therefore be resolved that pursuant to 617.6B1 of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA, the town board of the town of Southeast hereby declares itself lead agency for the purpose of SECRA for the type 1 action. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next is a motion to set a public hearing for the Route 22 master plan for Thursday, March 4th, 2021.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Will, did you get that out yet, or can you do that tomorrow morning?
Which one, Tony?
It's set a public hearing for Thursday, March 4th for the Route 22 master plan.
I thought that was something that
Ashley did?
Ashley was doing. I don't have any material on that.
I'll check with her first thing in the morning. If not, I'll get it to you. It has to be posted in the paper.
Tony, I don't know if there's enough time for that.
There would be. We've done it in the past. If it's not, we'll have to put it off for another day.
I mean, you don't want to do it for the 18th? I don't know.
Oh, well,
They might take it tomorrow, they might not. Then it's. then
Well,
there wouldn't be enough.
okay. Is it the 18th? We'll make it the 18th. And I'll check with Ashley to see if she's posted, but generally I thought we did that, but I'll check with her tomorrow. Okay, so move for the 18th.
Aye.
All in favor?
Yeah,
Eric, Edwin, I'm taking your eye as a second of that, right?
that's, yeah.
Okay. Okay, the supervisor's report. Right now, we're still working, actually, Ron and I, we're still working on the closeout for 2020. And once we have that, we can have a report for you. As far as the highway funds, we have a concern with the state budget this year, which is not going to come out until hopefully April 1st, because we're not sure about the CHIPS money. I know John Lord asked for a report this month of what roads we're going to be doing this year. But Mike Burdick says until we get the report from the state of what kind of funding we're going to get, we average around $250 a year. I've heard it could be cut as much as 50%. So we're looking at 100 to 125,000. Once Mike is made aware of the number, he will identify what roads we'll be doing.
Thank you.
Okay. Public comment.
If anybody wants to make a comment, you can just unmute yourself. It's unlocked. Or you can raise your hand by clicking next to your name. It should be a button on the participant list to raise your hand. Or if you dialed, in which I don't think anybody has, you can press *9.
Good evening, all. It's Scott Seaman from the Board of Ed.
Yes, Scott.
What's going on, everybody? We got out lucky today. I thought with the school being closed, they were going to get hammered, but we were lucky. The kids are on vacation this week. We'll be bringing the kids back into school. Right now, we're working on bringing more kids with IEPs and learning disabilities back into the schools. And of course, working to get our kids back into school, as many as possible, as soon as possible. We appreciate your efforts on our behalf. And on a side note, that initial presentation I thought was very interesting. I hope it ties into the village's revitalization plan and they could both key off each other. So thank you very much.
Scott, you should maybe consider having them come to a school board meeting to maybe go through some of that stuff, just to get some more recognition for what they do.
Definitely, I can make the suggestion at Tuesday's meeting and see if there's any appetite, but I will definitely press that forward. Good
Cool.
suggestion.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Any member of the public? Seeing none, town board?
Yeah, I went to the Putnam County Traffic Safety Board meeting today. Lisa Mondello reported about the two stoplight requests that you had made, or adjustments that you requested, one at Route 6 and 121. They still are waiting for a traffic study to be done. Nothing was not scheduled yet, and they're waiting for COVID to be over and also the weather to change so that they would get realistic numbers. And the other intersection at Farm to Market and Route 312, they still have to schedule someone to go out there, one of their traffic inspectors, to look at that intersection. I know you had asked them about that, Tony, so.
quite some time ago. Now, the only thing, John, if there's any way, I've asked to be present there only because if they only send one person out, they can't see what the problem is. So if there's a way, the gentleman that made the inquiry of the town, he could go out there as well, because it's kind of a difficult situation. What's happening out on 312 by the gas station, you're coming down Brewster Hill to the light and you want to go straight across. The people on the other side of the road, they have a red light. Sometimes they don't. And you're sitting there waiting for them to go because your light is red. It doesn't always turn. And we're trying to get it so it will turn green or give an arrow or something. But asking for an arrow is kind of a difficult thing. I also asked for one to be up by the new Dunkin' Donuts as well. And I think they shut that one down. And that's a bigger problem. But thank you for checking and letting us know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. One question that they had on the Traffic Safety Board program was what is happening with the Pugsley Road development. And I told them that the Pugsley Road at 312 is closed and it's usually on a seasonal thing, but it looks more permanent right now with that cement bollard. And I'm not sure what it looks like on the Fields Corner side. Is it really just the seasonal closing, or is it?
The road will be maintained similarly as it has in the past. However, beginning as soon as this project is approved, which I understand may be soon, it will change and there'll be activity going there. My understanding is they have to improve the road before they start any kind of construction there. So it looks like this spring or maybe early summer, they might start construction on that portion of the road. But it'll still remain a seasonal road until said time that it's paved. And then I'm not sure, well, it has to be, it might be seasonal to a point. I don't know what's going to happen. Because as you know, as you're coming in from Patterson, it's dirt. And the Pugsley Road from Zimmer Road to 312 will be completely paved.
Yeah. Well, the sheriff is interested because he realized, or he knows that that's a key road in certain circumstances, in emergency situations. So the way it looks right now, it looks like it's closed almost on a permanent, but
No.
Okay.
It's only seasonal for this time of year.
Thank you.
Okay. And the reason they put up there's people that go in there and move it all the time and invite people down. We don't maintain the road. What happens, people go in there, get stuck. People go in there, dump garbage. So they kind of blocked it off more this year so they can't get access in there and get stuck.
But I can go in with my bike.
Yes, you can. John, you can go anywhere. Any other town board member? Okay, this evening I want to recognize a gentleman that has spent 23 years on the town planning board. And he has submitted his resignation. He loved what he does, loved what he did, and still would like to serve, but you know, it's time to move on. Same is gonna happen to me someday too, so get ready. Anyway, I'm gonna read a proclamation for Dan Armstrong, and he started on the board in 1998. So he's been with us for 23 years. And as you know, there's an ad in the paper, it's also on the webpage. We will be looking for his replacement. Whereas it is the sense of the town board that the quality of a community is measured by the unique and extraordinary accomplishments of the citizens who reside within the borders. And whereas Dan Armstrong, resident of the town of Southeast and a member of the town of Southeast Planning Board since 1998, will be recognized for his dedication and commitment to the town of Southeast. And whereas Dan Armstrong continually showed commitment to the community through the sense of fairness with all applicants, the public and other board members, as well as being considered very thorough and knowledgeable in all aspects of his duties and responsibilities to the residents of the town of Southeast. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast shall recognize and commend Dan Armstrong upon the occasion of his more than 23 years of dedication to the planning board. Dan Armstrong was a model planning board member, and the town of Southeast would like to congratulate Dan and his family who have shared in these special accomplishments, knowing that in so doing, he had encouraged others to follow his path, and be further resolved that a copy of this proclamation shall be presented to Dan Armstrong at the town board meeting on the 18th day of February 2021. And of course, because of COVID, he could not attend. And as well as a planning board meeting on the 22nd day of February 2021. Once that presentation is made by the planning board through Zoom as well, I will deliver it personally to his home. And we want to thank Dan Armstrong for his dedication to the town.
Thanks, Dan.
Any other comment? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. We close tonight's meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Thank you all for coming.
All right. Goodbye.
Night.